So good morning. Welcome to Yoga Small Plates. This is 14 days of nourishment to help the exhausted yogi. Um, so I think sometimes that we expect a lot of ourselves and of this physical structure. We expect it to get up every day and soldier on and get to work and do all the things we have to do and take care of our families. And sometimes it really needs some support. So that's why I'm doing this short series. I'm already on day 10. I can't believe it. That's how fast things go, right? But that's why I've been doing this short unchallenge, I'm calling it, instead of a yoga challenge, right? No handstands. But the idea is what do we do? What can we do to help nourish our system that gets depleted really easily? So many things out there are sucking our energy. So how do we bring our energy back? So I've been talking a lot about the kidneys. And so kidney energy in the Chinese medicine system has a lot to do with building up our inner strength, right? And it has to do with strength, it has to do with stamina, and it gets depleted. So how do we build up that inner strength? And that's sort of what I've been talking about these past few days. So today I have just 2 asanas for you with a specific breathing pattern. And that breathing pattern tends to bring soothing feelings to the nervous system. So this is a good one to do in the evenings or before you go to bed at night. We're going to be doing a very small back bend and a very small forward bend with a specific breathing pattern. So the pattern is a lengthening of the exhale. So we're going to start with a 4 count exhale, and then 5 count, and then 6 count, 7 count, 8 count. Now, here's the thing before we get going with this, before I show you, is that breathing is, I did a whole 30 days on pranayama. I wrote an ebook on pranayama. So breathing is so individual, and we have to be really mindful of that, and so that we're not imposing a breath count on our system that is potentially has an adverse effect or has the opposite effect of what we're looking for. So that being said, as you go into this, just find your own count of breath. It doesn't have to be this, exactly 1, 2. It doesn't have to be a metronome breath. What you're looking for is a smooth, subtle breath. That's what the ancient texts say. Look for a smooth, subtle breath that creates a sense of peace and calming in the system. Not a breath that you're like trying to push because you're trying to enter the Olympics of breathing, right? It's not about that. It's not about competition or what anybody else is doing. It's about how does this breath affect your nervous system specifically. So as we progressively lengthen the exhale, look for signs. If you have to take a deep breath in, that means you're pushing your breath too much, right? So look for the signs. Don't if you feel any kind of stuttering in the breath, or you feel like it's really taking a long time to get the breath out, it's telling you got to back off. Okay, so always go under what you could do, right? So always do less than what you could do. That's actually the best way to train your nervous system. So we're going to come down on our backs here. I hope you can see me on Instagram. I know on Facebook it looks okay, but on Instagram maybe not. I don't know. And this is supine cobbler's pose. And what you'll start to notice is when your knees go wide, your lower back, that kidney area, comes off the floor. That's normal. And then as you take the knees towards each other, the lower back presses down towards the floor. Now, if you notice, I'm not taking my knees all the way together. You could if you want to, but I'm just going to let it be a little back bend here on the inhale, and then the knees coming towards each other. And what I'm doing is just allowing my belly to sink towards the floor on the exhale. And then we're going to add the counting. So we're inhale, slow, subtle inhale, the exhale for 4 counts. 2, 3, 4. That's a good 4 for me. You might go faster. You might go slower. So we'll do it again. So inhale and then 4. And as I'm exhaling, I'm feeling this sinking and feeling my lower back flattening. Now this time, the exhale is going to last for 5. You can put your hands on your belly if that's helpful. That also gives your body the feeling of kind of a soothing feeling or feeling of comfort. And do that again for 5. I'm going to not talk. And then the next is going to be 6. And do that again. Just a slow, simple inhale. Fill up chest and then belly on your inhale, and then exhaling. 7. And again to 7. And then we're going to do 2 more. And these are going to be to 8. If it's too much for you, just back down. Go to 7, go to 6. It's still working. If you've been working with your breath for a while, this might feel real easy to you. But for people who haven't been working with their breath, this can be really hard. Okay, and then when you finish that one, bring your feet flat, arms by your sides, and just pause for a moment here and breathe. And notice how your body responds to the practice. We're going to take the knees up towards the chest and let your arms be straight. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, draw the knees towards the chest. And again, feeling the belly sink and feeling your lower back press towards the floor. So you're really giving a massage to that kidney area. And this time, exhale to 4. You can use a little ocean sounding breath, little ujjayi. And then do that again, exhale to 4. And then we're going to exhale to 5. Should be smooth and comfortable, and you shouldn't feel like you're gasping your inhale. So we did 5 twice. Now we're going to do 6 twice. I don't know if I did everything twice on the last one, but that's what we were supposed to do. That's 6 counts exhale. Okay, and then we're going to do 7 twice. And then one more time. This is 8. I'm starting to get sleepy. So 8. I hope it feels relaxing to you too. I don't know if I was getting sleepy, but I was starting to space out. Oh yeah, I'm making a video. That's right. Don't space out. And last one, and it should last for 8. And then when you finish, bring your feet flat, rest. And notice how that shifted your physiology. Maybe you don't notice much. Maybe you notice something. One thing I'll say is that if the more you do it, the more apparent it becomes. Like the more you practice this kind of work, and lengthening the exhales is one of the safest things that you can do, right? There's all sorts of ways you can manipulate your breath. And some of them require a lot more preparation and training and sort of understanding before you engage in them. But this one, for most people, tends to be pretty safe. So give it a try. Let me know how it goes. Leave me some questions and comments. It's always really lovely to have you here. Oh, let me tell you something before we finish. I don't have the timer. What I wanted to say is I think that practice took us like around 5 to 6 minutes for that. So think about in your life, where do you have 5 or 6 minutes that you could fit that in? And if you did it 3 or 4 times a week, how would you feel differently just by doing that practice? So those are always good things to ask yourself. Like sometimes we think, oh, I don't have time, so I just want to watch Netflix. I know I think like that. But even as I'm watching Netflix, sometimes I can be like, okay, I can still watch The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt and and do a couple of postures. I can still watch something while I'm practicing if I'm not willing or in a place where I just like don't want to do self-care, because self-care takes work, right? It's not just like Netflix and wine. It's actually takes some effort to do self-care, and sometimes that's hard to find, it's particularly when you're exhausted, right? Okay, have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. We got 4 more days, so I'll see you tomorrow. Namaste.